Face the flag and pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Roll call. I am present. Mr. Williams had to leave. Mr. Heater.
Present.
Mrs. Bales. Present. Tasha Barnes-Griffin.
Present.
Mr. Irvin.
Present.
Mr. Lowe.
Present.
Okay. Mr. Walker. Welcome.
Well, good evening, members of the board, all of our students and staff that have joined us tonight. Please make sure you silence your phones. If you're from Muncie Central, you'll get an auto caller from me at about 5:25. So make sure you do that. You can hear that later. But good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to present a little bit about what's going on at Muncie Central so far this school year. We have two student groups that'll present, so my presentation I'm going to try to be very brief because I'd much rather you hear from our students. And then in our Q&A portion at the end, we have our master teachers and our mentor teachers that have joined us this evening, so if you have any questions of them, I'm sure they'll be happy to answer any of those as they may pop up. So, Becky, are you in charge of our... I have a clicker right here. All right. There you go. Okay. So, I have two slides that I'll present for you this evening, and both of them are in reference to updates at Muncie Central as it pertains to our academic innovation plan. The first slide that you'll see is in reference to pillar number 2, which speaks to recruitment, development, and retention of educational leaders. So a couple things to point out here at Muncie Central so far this school year. Really in the last 4 or 5 years, we like to celebrate our retention at Muncie Central. As Dylan will definitely point out, when you went into HR and my first or second year as principal, we stayed extremely busy. We had a lot of folks that took different opportunities, retired. I think the first year that we were together, we were pushing 20 or 25 teaching replacements that first time together. So as you can see, this last year to only have 7 new hires at Muncie Central with a staff that's pushing over 130 total folks with our classified and certified staff, we feel like our retention is something to be celebrated at the high school. Also something that we celebrate, and our staff claps a little bit harder at the beginning of every year than they did maybe the first couple years, but our administrative team has been together my entire tenure at Muncie Central. And I think that's something to be celebrated. I think we talked the other day that across our district, I think Mr. Moore may be the senior principal of the group in his building that's been there longer than we have at Muncie Central. But there's obviously been some turnover across the district, and something that we like to celebrate is the fact that we say, and our teachers will laugh, that for better or worse, we're their administrative team, and we have been. So thank you. But we do celebrate that in terms of our consistency that we have coming out of the main office. This year, we've also added our mentor teachers with our NIET partnership. We started with our instructional coaches last year, which were funded through Title I. With our partnership with NIET, we transitioned to master and mentor teachers. We have 2 master teachers, and we have 3 mentor teachers. Our mentor teachers teach a full load, and then they also help us in terms of instructional practice. So we have Drew Shermetta, Jesse Andry, and Jen Jensen, who are with us tonight that can help answer some questions here in a little bit. But one of the things that's been unique for them this year is through our partnership with NIET and working with Tangela, we have actually piloted a program called IGP, or Individual Growth Plans. So we have 30 teachers that instead of submitting lesson plans every 2 weeks, our pilot program with our IGPs will now write reflections. Our mentor teachers have taken over complete ownership of that. So our teachers realize that when they provide some hardcore pouring out of their heart reflection, it's not something that's being judged by an evaluator and an administrator. It's being reviewed by their peers, and then the mentor teachers will take that, try to see what themes we have that will then hopefully guide us in our professional development with our master teachers and what we do on our early release PD days. So that IGP process has been phenomenal, and I'm sure our mentor teachers would have no problem explaining that a little bit more in detail when they get a chance to talk. Also, one of the things I'd like to point out to you is that as far as additional coursework, we have several teachers at the high school that are furthering their own education. Several of them are with Ball State University, taking advantage of our tuition break. I myself am taking advantage of that, going for an advanced degree. But we have several teachers that are doing that. I get all the time correspondence, whether it be from Indiana Wesleyan or Ball State or other institutions where we have teachers that are entering into coursework, whether it be for an administrative license or just a master's degree in general. So we're very proud of the fact that our teachers are basically extending their opportunities for themselves educationally as well. So that's pillar 2. The next slide will speak to pillar number 3, which is student-centered teaching and active learning. So obviously our NIET partnership and the use of our master and mentor teachers is huge in this particular pillar of our innovation plan. We've tried to make a high priority on instructional practices. Our master and mentor teachers, that's almost their entire focus, is what are we doing to better the instructional practices and strategies with our classroom teachers. Mind you, in the middle of a pandemic, and our teachers are doing a phenomenal job with that. So making that a high priority, switching over to a new rubric, switching over to a new vernacular or language within that rubric, our teachers have embraced that, and we're starting to see some really positive results, not just in the culture and climate within our classrooms, but also in some of our student achievement. Our teachers are reporting that our students are doing a phenomenal job in the classroom, and some of the practices and just the collegiality that our teachers have during these PD opportunities is something to be celebrated at the high school. So we feel like that, especially addressing this pillar in our academic innovation plan, that partnership has been extremely beneficial for us. Also with Project Lead the Way, we rolled out computer science classes in Project Lead the Way last year. We still have a full complement of those classes offered for this year. We're combining that with our AP or Advanced Placement computer science classes. That's going extremely well. Also happy to report that Gabe Hayworth, who is our PLTW instructor, has completed all the requirements of PLTW training for engineering. We know that's not a cheap endeavor, and we're going to put our hooks in Gabe and make sure he sticks around for a while. He coaches a number of things for us at the high school as well, but he has completed that training, so we're still offering a full complement of our engineering courses. We're in our intro class, and we're working up to our second and third year classes with our cohort that we have right now. And then life after graduation, as we speak to that in our innovation plan, we're very happy with the partnership that we have with Purdue and Ivy Tech with 2 new courses that we're offering. These courses are speaking specifically to high demand jobs that we have, not just here in Indiana, but right here in our own backyard. And while I'll kind of take a little pause here, I know Andy's ready to bring in our first group, but we have a presentation for you from our Purdue class. These are all students that are earning dual credit through Purdue University, and Randy Glaze is our instructor. So I'll have them come up and give a little bit about what life is like in their classroom and how we're addressing that for pillar number 3. So Randy, Mr. Klotz, it's all you guys. Come on up.
Hello, my name is Randy Glaze, and speaking on behalf of Purdue University, we're happy to be here. I think it's a great opportunity for not only Muncie Central kids, but also for the entire county. Okay, so what we're doing is it's an entry-level class, and it's called Tech 120, and it's a problem-solving class. So we go through, we've actually been through 7 or 8 different ways to solve problems. So what they're going to do, they've had to come up with a problem that is community-wide, that kind of thing, and trying to solve it. So it's not necessarily mechanical. It's more, it could be mechanical, it could be concepts. A little different for Mr. Glaze, but it's good that they're learning these concepts. So we'll go ahead and introduce team members here. We've got Gabby Brewer-Fields, Teddy Bishop. Next group, we have David Wentz, Pierce Dunn, and Doug Thornburg. I don't want to steal their thunder, so they're going to present. So go ahead and let them talk. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. We were asked to identify a problem that we wanted to solve. When I was in the foster care system, I transferred from home to home, and there was a lack of confidentiality with counseling in California. And this is how we decided to improve the foster care system. We had interviewed a couple stakeholders. The first one is the foster child that we had talked to had a very positive experience with foster care. She had very good confidentiality with her counselor. She also got a really good opportunity to have a tutor to help her with schooling. One thing that she wished to be different is not to be moved from home to home. It took a toll on her, it was very effective, it sucks, and she felt like she didn't belong. But other than that, she was glad where she was placed at the end. We also thought it was important to get a foster parent's opinion. Adoption process. If you're already a foster parent, I feel like it shouldn't be long for the foster parents. Should be faster and easier. Also, the pay. The pay to add more money to help provide more material for the child and to get help.
We also interviewed 2 stakeholders who have leadership positions in foster caring at the state level. One of these was Leslie Dunn, who works with the court-appointed special advocacy program. And the biggest issues that her program is trying to address in the foster care system is that there's just a lack of representation for the child in the courtroom. The child doesn't really have the opportunity to give input about which home they would like to go to or what kind of family they would like to stay with. So that program is just kind of working to improve the advocacy for the child, especially in legal situations. We also interviewed Sarah Berry, who works with the Family Arc, and her program kind of works to give more specialized attention to foster children with disciplinary issues or those who have been through trauma. And so they have actually developed a separate training program for foster parents who are going to be taking in children who have experienced trauma. And the issue that they are finding is that there is a severe lack of parents who are willing to take these children in and who are willing to undergo that training. So in order to improve the foster care system and make this kind of plan that we are working towards, we are taking into account all of the input that we have had from these interviews, and the 2 biggest problems that we are trying to address are a shortage of foster parents, which is leading to a lot of children switching between homes very frequently, and a lack of representation for children and advocacy for these children in the courtrooms. So in order to address these, we have ideas such as increasing advertisements for foster caring and providing possible subsidies for foster parents who would be willing to take in foster children but can't afford it, as well as expanding the court-appointed special advocate program.
Any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
Hello, my name is David Wentz. That is Pierce Dunn and Dutch Thornburg, as he said. Our problem we selected was the Muncie Mall. It is dying a little bit, and we're just trying to find a way to revive it, basically. And whenever we were first finding the problem, we kind of ran into the issue of, finding the problem itself. And so we started out, we spent basically an entire class period not having any clue what we were doing. And so Mr. Glaze gave us a great idea to make a list of what, some of the problems, personal or Muncie's. And so we first came up with the problems, like small amounts of free time with like homework and stuff, and then too many apps on a phone. And then we got into more of the Muncie's problems, such as the B&B hours, driving on phones, roads, trains, voting, narcotics, and, Muncie is kind of a dying city as well. So, and from there we went and we found a POV statement. The Muncie Mall needs more foot traffic because, it's kind of dying. And so from there we went into finding, stakeholders, which Dutch will take it from here.
So, because the mall has lost so many of its big businesses, we were interviewing shareholders to try and figure out what would be some good businesses to try and incorporate into the mall. And a lot of people were thinking of things that weren't necessarily stores, such as fitness centers, a daycare, maybe like a park area somewhere around the mall, and things like that.
As Dutch has said, then we have gone out and interviewed people. And then right now, then we are working to finish up our interviews because we have not gotten all of them yet. And we are also then going to take their suggestions into our final solution when we are going to be able to better finalize our solution. And right now, then we plan to, when looking and creating a solution, then we plan to look at the actual floor plan of the entire Muncie Mall and then work to make it better from there by dissecting the mall itself and then adding things from the ideas that our stakeholders gave us. Thank you. All right. Any questions for anyone?
It's like a cliffhanger. We're not gonna know. Will we be able to get? No, can you email us or come back in and say this is what the result of? Okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Any other questions?
All right. Very good.
Well, thank you.
They were all extremely nervous, as you could tell, but I think they did a fantastic job. So thank you for allowing them the opportunity. Our next group to present is a group that you're pretty familiar with, maybe some new faces this year, but our Student Advisory Board. A few years ago, they partnered with our school board to bring advocacy of things that are really affecting their world. So Julie Snyder is our faculty sponsor, and then she has her group that will present. And then they also have gifts for everybody at the dais. Our new Muncie Central Mass, they'll pass those out so you can represent us out in the community. So they'll get those to you before they leave. But Mrs. Snyder, it's all yours.
Hopefully I can do this without fogging up. I'm gonna get contacts before this is over. Okay. Hi, as you guys know, they're gonna be passing out their gifts right now. The Student Advisory Board is just a group of kids that we got together a few years ago to kind of be the liaison between all the students in Muncie Community Schools and you. Oh, there we go, yeah. And so each year that we've done this, we've had students at each grade level apply to serve on the board, and they just kind of write down, why they want to do this and what it means to them. And so we've had a different group pretty much every year. We do have a few kids who have been on here the whole time. This year we have no boys. I don't know how it worked out that way, but we have a wonderful group of ladies. And they're going to come up, and we already sent you guys the slideshow, but they're not going to go through everything tonight because we definitely have not had time to research everything. So they're just going to give their name, what they're planning on working on for the next month or so, and maybe we can come back in December and give the full thing if that's okay with you guys, just because we didn't want to take that much time and it'll probably take a little while. Okay, so I let them come up one by one. If you guys are the block scheduling crew, if you want to come up first.
Hi, my name is Nora Quirk. I was on the board last year, but I am currently a sophomore at Muncie Central. And our first topic that we're going to be talking about with the rest of the Student Advisory Board is block scheduling. And basically, we'll go into further depth over this at a later time period. But some of the things that we wanted to go over were just some advantages, disadvantages, and some suggestions that we had to improve the quality of the schedule for both the teachers and the students participating.
Hi guys, I'm Mackenzie and I will be doing the exact same thing that she just said. But basically we're just going to introduce ourselves as our group because we have like little teams that come together and then we bring it up to the rest of the group. So Brooke, if you want to come up.
I'm Amber Lawton. I'm a freshman, so this is my first time doing this, but I kind of wanted to have maybe a little say in things, how stuff goes. So.
Hi, I'm Brooke. I'm also working on block scheduling. Nora and I worked a lot on it last year, getting ready for our presentation that got shut down right as that was supposed to happen right before we shut down. Let's see. And I am also working on figuring out a new GPA calculation and possibly changing how we do rank at Central. So we have on our, also I'm a senior, I don't think I said that. We have on our presentation some information about a possible new formula for GPA, and then we're looking into, and I'm doing more research on switching from valedictorian salutatorian to the possibilities of doing magna cum laude, summa cum laude.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Don Lawson. I'm a senior, and this is my first year. I'm working on adult readiness workshops, which is we're focusing on career and college readiness specifically.
Hi, my name is Tegan Carpenter, and I am also working on these adult readiness workshops. And basically, I'm just going to give you a little preface of what we're going to be talking about later in the year. There's like 20-minute periods in between each of our lunches, and I think that those periods are a perfect time for community members or school counselors to pull kids out who sign up on an online workbook or an online like checklist thing to come in and talk about how to pay your taxes, how to fill out a checkbook, how to fill out your FAFSA, how to fill out an application, all these things that I know, especially for me, I'm a senior, and this is also my first year doing this, but I'm a senior, and like it's hard. It's very difficult to learn how to do all those things by yourself. And luckily for me, I'm not first generation, so I have family who can help me. But I know a lot of our kids here at Muncie Central do not have that privilege. So that's just basically what we're about. And there might also be some online options that we're looking at, but that's basically it for us.
Great.
Hello, my name is Hannah Williams. I am a senior, and this is my first year doing this, but hey, what do you know? Just trying to get involved. So basically what my group is about is teachers go through sensitivity training each year, and I think also students could benefit from it as well. Students who get sensitivity training would improve how they interact with their peers and when doing group projects, handling difficult situations, and more. And we have ideas on ways we could possibly go about this. So, Josie, you can take it away.
Hi, I'm Jessie. I'm currently a freshman, and one idea that we had is making our fourth period, our daily class, part of our every other day schedule, and creating a 30-minute class period that'll be like a homeroom. So once a month, a guest speaker through Zoom could possibly talk about sensitivity training to our students.
Hi, my name is Emma Ambler. I am currently a sophomore at Muncie Central, and this is my second year doing this. What my group and I were here to talk about was different climate change initiatives and maybe expanding our recycling programs into our elementary schools and making them want to learn how to recycle and how to do it efficiently and just make it fun for them as well. And maybe we could reward them with like a pizza party, or we could get in touch with different elementary school principals and see what awards would appeal to the students themselves.
Hi, I'm Amaya Cates. I'm a sophomore, and this is also my second year doing this. And I thought it would be a good idea to implement recycling bins or the trash bins of different types of bottles or aluminum cans or just cardboard boxes of some sort, and have it in our cafeteria, so as we're walking in or out of the cafeteria that we can just throw away our trash that way and implement a new recycling type and eco-friendly environment for our school.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Brown. I'm a senior. This is my first year doing this. We basically have brought up all those ideas. We also have come up with the idea of maybe starting something of like a compost area, because I know a lot of people throw away their fruits at lunch and all that stuff. And if I were to be able to show you my slideshow, we have like pictures of basically people recycling stuff into something decorative that we can put up and kind of display that kind of environmentally friendly design. So, yeah.
Okay, so hopefully that made you hungry for more information, right? Like I said, they've been working really hard, but we got a late start. I don't know what it is. Were you guys like this? It just took me so long to get things started this year. I don't know why. So by the time we start having meetings, we just haven't had time to research yet. So we will come back when we have more plans, but we thought we would send this to you anyway. So if you guys have input, if you have things that you would like to share with the kids, you can email us, or our next meeting is next Wednesday morning. We have it at 7 a.m. In my room, 428. And so if you guys want to join us, we'd be happy to have anybody that wants to come and share the wealth. Okay, thanks for your time.
Just a moment. Go ahead.
So girls, before you leave. Am I on? So ladies, before you leave, first of all, I've been joining them early morning to hear their conversation, and what a powerhouse you are. You have wonderful ideas. Every single one of those, I think that we want to move forward and be able to implement. And it's just very rewarding to see our students take ownership, find some issues and things that we can improve, and find the solutions to do that. So you're an amazing group, and I know that we all look forward to seeing the progress that we make this year. So thank you very much.
Good.
Well, thank you for giving them the opportunity. I think you can see that while academics is extremely important to us at Muncie Central, having our students involved in how life will affect their world is maybe even more important. And they're definitely showing that their initiative and obviously their attention to detail is second to none. So we're very, very proud of them. Last thing I have is just a few thank yous. First off, thank you to our school board and our central office administrative team, really for the grace as we navigate these waters and the support. Sometimes the word support can be just thrown around without really any true meaning. Folks feel like that maybe they're supported sometimes, maybe they're not, but I can unequivocally tell you that we do not worry about making decisions based on whether or not the board would be happy or whether our central office would be happy, because you guys have entrusted us to do what's best for our students and staff, and we appreciate that. To our administrative team at the high school, I mentioned this before, we've been together all 5 years that I've been the principal there, for their patience with me specifically. There's probably too many stories to mention, and don't corner them on them because they'll be happy to share sometimes. Our jobs are not easy. And I mean that for anybody that's sitting in this room or anybody that's working in education right now. They're not easy. We don't do it for the pay. We don't do it for the recognition. We do it for our kids and our families. And our team comes in every day making sure that we have an environment where our teachers and our students can feel safe, they can learn, and they can go on and be as productive as we know they can. So our administrative team with their patience, their grace, and obviously their ability to be flexible. To our families, and I know I have some family members in the room tonight, and if not, there are definitely some future family members of the Bearcat family. The word that I would most use to describe how our families have supported us is trust. And that's not a word that we use lightly. If you don't have trust, you really have nothing. And our families have trusted us. They've trusted us as a school corporation and as a school. We've had to make several phone calls over the course of the year where folks have either tested positive, they've been close contacts. We've had athletic programs that have been shut down for a few weeks at a time. Not one single phone call that we've made to a parent has been negative, adversarial, confrontational. It usually ends with thank you so much. And a lot of times they're like, what can we do to help? I wish I knew the answer to that. But really, their trust and support of what we're doing, not just at the high school, but in our entire community is huge. And I want to make sure that we are on record of noticing that and recognizing that. To our students, as you've heard from, their level of commitment hasn't changed. If anything, it's probably strengthened and deepened. Their work ethic is just as strong as it's been throughout my entire time, having the pleasure of being the principal at Muncie Central. And as you can tell, their attitude. In the middle of a pandemic, they're still trying to solve problems, folks. They're not setting back, worried about getting through. But they are really trying to solve problems. And as you heard Brooke and some of the seniors talk about, the problems they're trying to solve aren't going to necessarily benefit them. They're going to benefit the folks that are coming after they walk the halls. So their attitude has been tremendous. And I don't really know what to say about our teachers and our staff, not just in our building, but across our district. They're simply the best. I mean, I would put our staff up in this corporation, especially in our building, up against any staff that's having to deal with the pandemic right now. I wouldn't go to battle with anybody else. They care about our kids. They care about the culture and the climate of our building. They care about making sure that our kids know what's important, what our goals are, how we're going to accomplish that goals. One of our missions is placing learners first. I don't think you'll find a building, and if you do, I'll challenge you on that, but I don't think you'll find a building that has a staff that embodies that any more than the Bearcats at Muncie Central. So with that being said, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to all the folks that have joined me here tonight. I know that there's probably other things you can do on a Tuesday night, but you've made it a priority to be here to support not only me personally, but our building, our students, and our staff. So thank you for that. And with that being said, we'd be happy to answer any questions. We have our administrative team here. Our master and mentor teachers are here. So fire away, and we'll do our best.
Yes, Mr. Walker, thank you so much for being here. We'd like to have you introduce your team since they're here.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. So from the administrative team, we have Kenna Jones, who is our associate principal. We have Justin Oliver, who is our assistant principal. And I hope I get all the names correct with Rhonda's title here, but Rhonda Ward, who is our assistant principal, first and foremost, by golly, and then she's also our district director of diversity and inclusion, and is doing a fantastic job wearing both hats for us. Our master teachers, we have two of those at the high school. We have Jason Babb, who is a former math teacher at Southside and also here at Muncie Central, and then Danny Thornburg is our other master teacher, who has been just about everywhere in the district here. So Wilson, Southside, Central, so he's been around and they're doing a fantastic job. Our three mentor teachers that also teach full-time, Jesse Andre, who's new with us here at the high school, doing a fantastic job in our English department. Jen Jensen, who I think is right here, is in our social studies department. And then Drew Shermetta, who is also in our social studies department. Again, they piloted our IGP, so they kind of see the inner workings of how things are going with our teachers, and they do a very good job of navigating that delicate conversations and making sure that we are doing what's best for our teachers and also what's best for our students. And then we're going to move over to our athletic department. Tom's been up here so many times, you know, he's his own one-man show with reopening everything. And you know, Tom, I will publicly say that you navigated us through fall sports with maybe just a few chinks in the armor, and then we're getting ready to start winter sports. And I know he just got off the phone earlier today with Jamie Bain of a plan for us at the field house, which the field house is full capacity now, except for COVID. So thank you for that. But Tom Lyon is our athletic director. And then I don't think okay, I think I've got everybody. All right, but that is our team, so thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. I will say, I just will say, I think I can echo for the rest of the board and Dr. K and others here. I think how things are going at Central is great. And I think it's a reflection of leadership. And so we appreciate all that you're doing. Thank you very much. And your staff, the teachers, everyone that's associated with that building, it's going well. So thank you.
And as a board member, I want to say thank you, like he said, but as a parent of a student at Muncie Central, I want to say thank you to all of you every day. I know that I can send my son to the school, and I know that you all have his best interest at heart, and you helped him along the way. And so I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Some of our folks may go ahead and take off. Don't take that as a sign of disrespect.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next on the agenda is CEO comments. Dr. K.
Well, after all of that, I think he said it all. I've been asked numerous times, you will read about different school districts that are making decisions to go from in-person to virtual. And I've been asked, what are some of those benchmarks for us? So some of the things that might cause us to move from an in-person model to a virtual model would be if we have shortages of teachers due to positive cases. We watch that every single day. We look at the number of students that are absent due to COVID. And so we are not just looking at the absenteeism rate, but it's actually due to COVID-related reasons. And then the last one would be if we would have transportation issues. Our schools have been doing a remarkable job, and they are following our reopening plans. And during the day, while every day we may have some cases or some close contacts, our positive cases that we've had across the district has really been remarkable. I also would like to give a shout out to our HR department because they are monitoring our substitutes, and they are constantly trying to promote for people to sign up to sub. So if anyone watches this live stream and you want a job 1 day a week, 5 days a week, please go online and sign up to be a substitute. We're going to push out to Ball State University. They'll be finished by Thanksgiving, so they're going to have a long break. And so having any students that work or they attend Ball State, if they live around here, this would be a great opportunity to earn a little bit of extra money and to help us out. But poor Dightlin, she'll get calls from me at 9 o'clock at night, and then she'll get calls from me at 7 o'clock the next morning. So we really are monitoring the numbers of teachers that are out and substitutes that we have. And our principals they've had to be pretty creative with finding different staff to put in classrooms. But our goal, as we've said all along, as often as we can make sure that we are offering in-school schooling, we really believe that's important for our students. And so I just wanted to give an update about COVID. And then lastly, I learned today that we always like to shout out any of our staff that are achieving awards, and Kelsey Pavelka, who is a dual language teacher and who is also our Title III coordinator, was just awarded the Outstanding Dual Language Teacher Award through the American Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese. And so the Indiana chapter was the one that identified Kelsey, and through social media and will be a news release, we'll make sure that we get that information out about one of our teachers.
That's great.
So, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Do we have any public comments? Anybody else?
No.
Okay. No public comments. All right. If we would address the consent agenda, have the approval of the minutes, donations. Anything that we need to note on here?
I move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Mr. Jerome, it's your show.
Yes, I didn't realize that. The first item there you have on your board packet that I've included was the permission to make year-end transfers. This is our normal resolution we ask for each year-end. We're just trying to get this done in the month of December, where we're allowed to, we're not asking to spend any more money within the various funds, just allowing the transfer to make the transfers to make everything in balance by the end of the year. Just looking for a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Right.
Thank you. The next item I have is the permission to make transfers into the rainy day fund. And what that involves is we're asking for permission to transfer up to $3 million by the end of the year to place into the rainy day fund of unobligated funds. What that would do, it would allow us, if we receive all the funding that we normally would expect, we would be able to place these funds into the rainy day fund balance and would have almost a little over $9 million by the end of this year. And what we're doing, we're trying to accumulate funds in the rainy day fund balance to be able to use that to help pay back our state $12 million loan, which is very backloaded in a few years to where that payment becomes much higher as we pay back to the state of Indiana. So we're really moving the funds from one fund to another or one pocket to the other. So we still have that in our total funds in our checkbook. And so we're just asking to be able to make that permission to make that transfer by the end of this calendar year.
I'll move. I have a second. Moved and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Financial report.
Yeah, well, I have the next one I had there is the medical insurance renewal. This one that's also in your board packet is the permission to make our renewal for this year 2021, starting in January, for our medical insurance renewal to maintain the same company, the unified group for both medical, dental, and vision. It represents only a 2% increase split 50-50 with the employees as well as the district. What this would allow us to do is just a slight increase. We are self-funded. This will impact the school district, an impact of roughly $55,000. But what we're doing, we are sharing this increase, and it's the minimal increase that we thought we could do and still maintain the balances we needed to.
Brad, I noticed that the administrative fees, there are increases there. I'd suggest maybe next year that you ask for a little bit of comparison there.
Okay.
See if you couldn't ask to see where we stand relative to other providers.
Okay.
Those become fixed costs for us.
Right, we
and
did,
they'll never
obviously,
go down.
we did go to the marketplace and did receive competitive quotes. And we have been very fortunate with incurred but not yet reported claims, and that's why we maintain that self-insurance balance. So with our balance of reserve funds on our books as well as the insurance company, we're still a little over $1.5 million to handle what you would call the runoff claims if you ever had to make a change in carrier. So that's why it's important to maintain that balance. So that's certainly duly noted.
Thank you.
Move approval.
Second.
So in the second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Financial report.
The financial report, really just the highlight for the month just ended. What we like to do is present that information each month. Obviously, we're getting closer to the end of the calendar year, which becomes our real snapshot for our fund balances at the end of the year. We still did receive our state basic grant in the month of October, still forecasting to have a pretty healthy total fund balance by the end of the calendar year at a little over $22 million. We're still expecting to have a positive surplus position in the education fund by the end of this year, and that's been reflected. That's why we're asking for that rainy day fund. We are reporting tonight that our ADM student enrollment count for September, it was 4,807. That was down only 58 students from the year before in September. So other than that, we will have more final information on the financials as we get closer, obviously, at the snapshot at the end of December. So.
Great job, Brian. Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Is there any additional dialogue from the board tonight?
If I may say, Brad is going to work on some communication with teachers and staff about the benefits so that they can be able to ask questions or learn more about that. And so that will be something that will be forthcoming.
Because everyone would have the opportunity for open enrollment before we start the new year, January 1st in 2021. So this would be the typical time of year that we'll start communicating that to all the employees.
Great, thank you. Do we have any media here tonight? Okay. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, have it. We are adjourned.
Good job at the last minute.